You know, I consider myself someone who loves film. I'm someone who tries to give every movie a chance and hope to find even the most positive aspects of a horrendous production. There's films that break me because of their morals or story choices, or perhaps character motivations and catharsis can sometimes not satisfy me. Then there's films like Oasis of the Zombies, a film so bad that I can't really find the words to explain it. It's such a wretched piece of work that I question how someone would choose to release this film this way. An editor had to have approved this, and a director had to okay the final production. This film cannot be comprehended without taking notes, and it's not something that's intellectual or beyond thought, it's just dumb. And it baffles me that it was made in 1982, the same year E.T., Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Poltergeist were released. This seems like something from the early 70s, but then again, Jesus Franco, the director of the film, probably used stock footage that came from the early 70s, so I guess that makes sense. Franco was known for directing over 200 films, all the way from the 60s to the year 2013 when he died, so I question if his other films are this horrendous. I don't quite know how to explain the story, seeing that the film barely gives you a chance to figure out what's going on. This film could have used a narration or a fourth wall breaking character. It wouldn't make it a good movie, but it would save me the headache of figuring out all these jump cuts. Basically, we have three different stories that all lead to the same conclusion. It's quite common with these exploitation films for the director to take two different movies and combine them, which was clearly done here in some sort of form. We have these two women who end up in the Oasis, I suppose, and they immediately get attacked by zombies. You know, after a very appropriate ass close-up. These zombies look ridiculous, almost having a Jim Henson look to them, which I'm guessing wasn't intentional. Then we have the opening credits, which is the most sense that a scene transition will have in this movie. Then we have this colonel meeting up with an old friend talking about that Oasis where there's $6 million in gold, apparently being transported by the Nazis back in World War II. He was in the battle with the Allies, but I guess the dead Nazis are still protecting the gold in zombie form. He remembers the location of the gold, and rather than pulling a good, the bad, and the ugly and keeping that a secret, he explains exactly to his friend where that spot is, which the friend replies with a bullet to the head. Yeah, I guess they weren't too good of friends. Then the friend, or the murderer I suppose, is gonna go get the gold for himself, only to get attacked by zombies because, you know, the opening scene didn't keep that a secret. So then he's dead. Yeah, kind of a pointless storyline, seeing that it doesn't at all connect to the other storylines involving the young undergrads who are planning a trip to the Oasis as well. I guess it kind of connects since the main kid is actually the son of the colonel who was murdered earlier, which gives him the idea to go after the gold. It just seems like the plot meandered for no reason though, since the guy who killed his dad never comes face to face with the son. The undergrads go to the Oasis and get attacked because it's already happened twice before, so I'm not surprised by now, and for some reason, the final attack has some of the worst lighting of all. Sometimes you can't even tell what's going on. Then the movie ends, but not without this scene.
Did you find what you were looking for?
I mainly found myself.
Wait, was that the moral of the story? He found himself? Because this place is where his dad was a final survivor years before, and now he's lived up to his father by being a survivor himself? Or did he find himself in an emotional sense, like he grew as a person after this journey? Both would be pretty dumb messages to receive, seeing that this had almost nothing to do with the rest of the picture, but it's worse because they never even go into detail about either of my assumptions. In any other movie with a rushed moral, they'd at least explain it. This is one of those extremely confusing endings that baffles my mind, and we didn't even go into detail about the random sex scenes, the random guy who's burned alive at the Sheik's palace, the son running into a group of cameramen who I guess he becomes friends with. There's no character development for anyone. This movie isn't offensive, but it feels so long despite being only 86 minutes. It's musty looking with no memorable lines, scenes, or set pieces. This is a pointless film, and I guess it's one of the two zombie films Jesus Franco was working on at the time. He made this one for French audiences and another one for Spanish audiences, but I find almost no information about this second film, and, well, I can bet that he didn't really make two different films as much as he made two different edits of this exact same film. If anybody has any information about this Spanish version, just give me a call. I maybe will. Well, no, I probably won't care. I don't really want anything to do with this film again. There's nothing redeemable about this film, nothing to rewatch, and nothing to talk about. If I was to score out of 10, I would give it 1 star. I would give it 0, but, well, it's still a movie. It does have a beginning and an end, I suppose. Not really a middle act, though, but it also has these zombie faces that, well, they make me laugh, so I guess that's where the 1 star comes from. It's still the worst film on this box set so far. Yeah, it's worse than Midnight Manhunt, and I'm wondering if anything will manage to beat it for that bottom spot. Thanks for watching the video. A special thanks to Ryan for supporting me on Patreon. If you'd like to join him and get early access to certain videos and have your name stamped on the end of videos and even request reviews monthly, then please click on the Patreon link, and thanks for the support.